As of this point, most of what we've done to the STI has been cosmetic. We haven't really given it any more horsepower, and that's because it's my daily driver. I need it to be reliable to get me around town, and it has been pretty reliable so far. But the EJ motor has some pretty big inherent flaws. So in this episode, we're gonna fix some of those flaws. If you're an OG follower of the channel, you might remember Androtech Automotive. They built my Forester, which they swapped the 2015 STI stuff with. Well, now we're back with an actual 2015 STI, and they're gonna install the parts that are gonna make this thing a whole lot better.
My name is Sam. We are here at Androtech Automotive. Today, we are going to make Ben's STI a little bit more reliable. So first thing we do is we get the car in here, and we wanna look over the whole car and make sure that there aren't any other pre-existing problems or things that need to be addressed. I know we like driving these cars hard, and anything can happen, so we want to make sure it's as safe and reliable as possible.
It's a Group 35, is it? Yeah, Group 35, the Die-Hard Platinum.
We're gonna go ahead and do spark plugs today because Ben's got about 60,000 miles on this thing, and they're 69,000 miles, correction. So he's 9,000 miles overdue. We want this thing to be reliable. You gotta have good spark plug. We want good spark ignition, all of that. Plugs out of Ben's STI. Here's out of number 1. Time to replace.
Part number for the spark plug? 7913. We just got this Die-Hard Platinum AGM battery from Advanced, non-spillable. I'm not gonna do that for this one because it has lead acid in it, and you can tell because it's so corrosive on top. I don't even know what brand battery this is, but we're finally gonna change it out with the Die-Hard Platinum AGM battery so I can, roll the car over and it won't spill out lead acid.
Oh, this is the oil filler neck O-ring. It becomes hard and flattens out, and then oil leaks right by it. And so you think your valve cover is leaking, but it's actually this. So replace your O-rings, guys. Hey. Nice. Circular.
This is a baffled oil pan. We've talked about these in the past. This one's a little bit special because Subarus, the oil pickup is known to crack on them because they don't have any support.
We've had cars come in just out of nowhere, started rod knocking, and once we tear it down, the oil pickup is cracked, just cracked, even on stock vehicles.
What is that? Definitely a piece of metal, Ben. It's like rolled up.
Yeah.
Gift for you, Ben.
When we hear the engine, it sounds healthy, and besides that, there's nothing else in the oil that we see. So
We're going to do a compression test with
we're good. As you can see, I've got the IAG upgraded oil pickup, and this is a factory. There's more mounts. So we got 3 mounts here. The stock one's cracked normally here, right there, it'll crack until you lose oil pressure. IAG sells an oil pan, windage tray, baffle, and pickup. It's like a all-in-one complete kit. Oil pan will hold 30% more oil, so it'll keep oil temperature lower as well. It's got fins in the bottom to cool as air passes through them. Cylinder 4 is the most common cylinder that fails on a turbocharged Subaru because it can cause hot spots. So we're installing a cylinder 4 cooling mod. This will help the flow of coolant better on the left side or the driver's side head.
So this is an air oil separator, and what this does is it separates the air from the oil.
This AOS basically will keep oil out of areas where they don't belong, particularly in the intake tracks. From crankcase pressure, it's also called blow-by. This AOS catches it and it's not like your traditional catch can where it keeps the oil. This AOS will actually plummet back into your system, so we're not really losing oil. But it also runs coolant through it so that the oil doesn't get smudgy and collect in here and get real nasty like old oil does.
Full metal coolant overflow reservoir, and this will replace the plastic reservoir that's in the car. The reservoirs aren't really known for failing too often. Oh, I broke something. But they can fail at the seams where the plastic is assembled together. They can leak a little bit. It's a little bit uncommon, and this is a little bit more of a cosmetic mod, but it is certainly a nice looking piece, and it will not hurt reliability. All right, we've got the IAG baffled oil pan installed, the IAG air oil separator installed. We've installed the Cobb coolant overflow tank and a Die-Hard Platinum battery. So now we're just bleeding out the coolant system. Oh, and the cylinder 4 coolant mod. So now we're bleeding out I'm gonna do all that again. So now we're just bleeding the system for what seems like hours to get all of the air out of the system because it's functioning so efficiently right now that it just takes so long to get warm to actually open up the thermostat, which is good because that means we're not gonna have any overheating problems. We've done all of the work to keep up with the STI's service and all of the mods to correct the potential flaws of Subaru's own design. My essentially stock daily driver should now be as good as bulletproof. At least, as bulletproof as you can make a Subaru. But before I leave Androtech, I'm interested to see just how much power my car makes with its catback and Cobb Pro Tune.
It's gonna make 262.
262?
262 wheel horsepower and 284 pound-feet of torque.
It's a Cobb tune, isn't it?
It's a Cobb Pro Tune.
Cobb Pro Tune?
It's Pro Tune, yeah.
Who, like Cobb did it?
Cobb Surgeline.
Ooh, Surgeline? That's high altitude, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably a 91 tune.
Oh, no.
Is it 91 in it?
Oh.
No, 93.
Oh. That's like 250.
It's a safe tune.
Oh.
Go down to 260. Go down to 260.
But the second pull we didn't go quite as well. Ready? I'm sure glad it's more reliable now. Well, that's gonna be a wrap for this episode and a wrap for this motor because I'm pretty sure we just popped the ringland. A little bit surprising to me that the motor blew up. I think it blew up on the first pull. 69,000 miles of not having these reliability mods. Clearly it had nothing to do with the mods that we put on it. Just bad timing. So I guess it's time for a new short block. This is the life of a Subaru.